Hi, welcome to Krishna Kone Live Talks. And today's date is 22nd March 2020. And I have a book for review today, and it's called Innovator's Dilemma by Clayton Christensen. It's a wonderful book on disruptive technologies and how to survive in the market for a long time. And Christensen was a Harvard University professor, Boston. He published this book first time in 1997, and it was a wonderful. It was pretty. It's as a book says, it's a pretty innovative and a disruptive book those during those times. So the book main point what it says is the companies which had great teams, great processes, great managers, everything going great, once very successful, could not succeed in the long run. So the companies which were damn good today, if you look at them after 10 years, these successful companies may not be there in the spectrum at all. They are lost. They're completely out of the, they're somewhere, they're out of the blue, right? For example, he was talking about the companies like Nokia, Kodak, and IBM, which were wonderful, gigantic companies, very, very successful ones. But over a period of time, they lost the stream and they disappeared from the spectrum. So they are nowhere. So he was trying to find out the reasons for why it happened so his findings are something like this. Every company runs because of the customers and the investors in it. So the customers want what they currently can see, right? Okay, they don't know they don't know the future, what they need in the future. So they just talk about, okay, this is what I need today. So is somebody giving me that? So they are focused in the short run, and the investors want higher margins, right? They don't want smaller margins. So they always say, okay, go behind higher margins. So all these companies like Nokia, Kodak, or IBM, they all know that, like Nokia, right? They know that the mobile phones, the smartphones are going to come. Kodak knows that digital is going to come, digital photography, but they don't. They thought like, okay, the business are going, whatever the business are going right now, they're going great, so let's continue. They just ignored the future. They thought, okay, why to stop our running businesses by investing into, like Kodak thought, like, okay, why into digitals, right? So the films are damn good, the analog stuff is damn good, so why to cut down our profits? But by the time they realized that digital is mandatory, somebody else came in and Kodak lost the ground. It was too late. And these companies could not establish value networks over a period of time. It's all, so that's what it says, like it's when everything looks so great in the short term, but in the long term you need a vision. So what it says is, even if the markets are small and if the margins are small, the companies have to focus on that. Maybe they can say, like, they can spin off their firms and then focus on these disruptive technologies, and once they are proven in the emerging markets, then embrace them back in the large markets or profitable markets. That's how they can innovate more and they can work for the long term. So the characteristics of disruptive technologies, they look very simple and cheaper and low performing, and they will have lower margins, and most of the leading firms, current firms, don't want them because they cannot foresee the future. And these products are commercialized in the emerging markets. So these are the qualities of disruptive technologies. So when you, but for sustaining for long term, for like decades, you need to be disruptive. So if I apply, so my takeaway from this book is, if I apply all these principles to my personal life, anybody's personal life, right? So it says something, it goes something like this: 80% of your work is bread and butter, right? So just run your business, right? Just do your work, but focus 20% of your time on the future, on the needs of the future, what the future demands, what we need, what I had to do after 10 years, what I had to do after 5 years, what I had to do after 15 years, what I had to do after 20 years. But the short term, whatever is happening right now has to continue. But this 20% of time on the future will give you a wonderful perspective of the future, and it will keep you relevant in the future. That's how you can keep yourself relevant and then sustain in the markets and have a great time and to be relevant to everybody around you also. And that also keeps you ongoing and have a great life. So self disruption is the key. Just don't go whatever is happening today, just don't be content with whatever is today. Focus on the future. Self disruption is the key. Focus on the future too, not just today. Thank you.